Good morning, everybody. So a lot of times I get asked, how do you make so many quilts so fast? Well, you have to do a lot of prep work. So I showed you the little book that I found yesterday. It was this one, the 36 things. So 36 blocks. So I finished the quilt yesterday. And once I quilt it and bind it, I'll take a picture of it and I'll share it with you guys. But in the meantime, I also showed you these. So hang on a second. I showed you this book that I've had forever. It's the Bits and Pieces quilt by Quilt in a Day. And inside, it's all done in scraps, obviously. So in here, I went ahead and cut my pieces that I needed. These are my weights and off weights and whatever. And then I have this pre-cut stack of 2.5 inch wide strips, and some of these are going to go in that quilt. So I inherited these, but normally I would have a bunch laid out too. I think, like these are mine that I've added to it. Well, probably up to here. This is the stuff that I inherited down here. So I have a lot. Like if I'm cutting up squares for something, I'll have the 2.5 strips and I'll just cut them and then I just kind of stack them kind of like this. I've just never had this many before. So I have that. That's one way to use them all. Here's another way. I purchased one of these stackable containers. So I also make placemats. So in this drawer, I keep a multitude of different sized pieces. They're 1 inch, 2 inch, whatever. And as I make placemats, I go in here and I pull out whatever I need. The other thing I have is this drawer down here. This one is 2.5 inch squares. So yesterday when I was cutting stuff up, I cut all this as extra. And then last night when I was finishing some stuff up, I cut all these. And then I just stick them in there. So they're there when I need them. By having everything set out, I can go ahead and create whatever quilt I want. Of course, I also have a ton of stuff already folded, and then I have a bunch of stuff that I'm not about to show you. That's just scrap pieces that people gave me or that I've, tossed into the container. I am trying to work my way through that, but like the strips I have and the other pieces, people keep giving me stuff that's ready to go. So I go ahead and try to use those as much as I can. So since I took a bunch of donations to Project Linus already, now I have to start making the tops again. So I'll spend 2-3 weeks making as many tops as I desire. And when I get tired of sitting down here and cutting fabric, then I'll take everything upstairs where my big machine is and I'll start quilting. And then that's the process. So I make a bunch of tops. Sometimes I make just pieces and I have pieces left over. I don't know if I can show you this. Maybe I can. Hang on. This will be a quilt top eventually, but right now I'm just adding pieces to it. So let me see if I can't lay that out for you. Here, let me turn it. So this is just leftover pieces. A friend of mine donated 3.5 inch squares and I used them all, but I had a strip from here all the way down to the bottom left over. So I just tacked it on. These, I can't tell you how old this particular set of strips is, but I just stuck it on there. And then these were 2 blocks that I found, and I'm just starting to add to it. That'll be a kitchen sink quilt because whatever I have left over that doesn't really fit anywhere, I will put in that quilt. So that's kind of how I get things done, and I'm not in any hurry to do it. I do it in stages. I have literally projects laying around all over. I mean, I started a sweater for myself the other night. So, and I still have my granddaughter's quilt over here to hand quilt. So, I mean, that's how I do it. I get everything laid out. Sometimes, like I mentioned the other day, I'm going to do a boat quilt. Well, I'll start prepping the boat quilt now. I'll go look at the directions and see what I need. And then as I start looking around, I'm like, oh, I have 15 minutes. What can I cut for that I don't already have cut? It might be my 2.5 inch squares that I have in the drawer that I showed you. It could be the strips that I have over here, or I might have to cut a different size. And so I'll pre-cut those and then I'll lay the fabric in the pattern book just whenever I'm ready, it's there. So that's how I get them done so fast. I also sew really fast, and I'm pretty sure in another life I was a factory worker, in this old sweatshops because I sew ridiculously fast. But that's just me. So hopefully this helps a little bit, because sometimes you want to do more than one thing. You got to prep it ahead of time. So I might take a week sometimes to prep all the projects I want to work on and then get ready to go. So I finished the other quilt yesterday. I started that sweater, and today it's bits and pieces. So I'll show you my progress as I keep going. Have a great day.